Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Oh, boy.
Look what we have here. I think I got like 8 pages, maybe. I don't even think I got 8 pages left. I got 3 usable pages left, and then I am actually done with the notebook. That's what happens when I don't keep grabbing random ones and I pay attention to what I'm doing.
Congratulations.
That's right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing well. 2025, it's just about in the rearview mirror. So we can get past this weird year. You know, ups, downs, everything in between. So, whatever. So today, since we're at the end of the year, since this is technically the last episode of the year, as far as Conversations Over Coffee goes,
Yeah.
I thought I would do a little research and we would talk about a couple things.
Okay.
So it became a curious thing in my mind about why do we make New Year's resolutions? I'd asked you this the other day. I think I asked you like a week ago. I'm like, where the fuck did this New Year's resolution things come from? And you said, redacted, no. And so knowing we were getting ready to record for the end of the year, I was just like, I wonder where did it come from? So your girl here at 3:00 this morning did some research.
Okay.
So we're going to go back in time. We're going to go way back in time. So in the ancient Romans in 46 BC.
Okay.
So this is a while ago, right? It's kind of
2000 and like a little over 100 years. Yeah.
Well, we're in 2025. So would it be 2000, just about 2000 years then?
So yeah, it'd be 2025 plus 46 ish.
So it was a way back in the day.
Yeah.
So the ancient Romans, Julius Caesar, he decided and he established the 1st of January is when the new year was going to start.
Because he's the decider.
He was the decider, but he decided on January 1st in honor of Janus, the two-faced god.
Okay.
And Janus.
That kind of makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that Janus looked both forward and back.
He's the god of comings and goings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to you because when you look at, I already knew you would know about this god. Mm-hmm. So I didn't bother looking at that because I was wondering what your perspective on what Janus, what he truly encompassed as far as their beliefs in this god.
I mean, like I said, he's the god of comings and goings. So he's like the god of new beginnings and endings. So
would that then kind of make him like the god of history?
No.
Or it's very set to just like the Romans, a god over the Romans, and he literally is just like.
I'm pretty sure he's a Roman exclusive god. I don't think he was a Greek god. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, but like janitor is a reference to Janus.
Okay.
Because originally, I believe those people also were like the greeters at the doors, as well as cleanup.
Okay,
and then eventually they just morphed into just being cleaners.
Okay.
But.
So literally Janus is, being the god of comings and goings, he's literally the one to greet you into any situation you're going into and then see how you end it and leave out.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah. And also I believe that the Romans had this thing where you weren't supposed to, they thought your left side was bad, quote unquote. So
right.
The name for left in Latin is sinister. And so when you entered a building, you weren't supposed to step in with your left foot. You were supposed to step with your right foot.
Okay.
Which was part of the kind of job of the janitor.
Is to make sure you entered properly.
Yes.
Okay.
put your best foot forward.
Oh, is that where that saying comes from? Probably.
Yeah. Or at the very least, it's related.
Right. Which is really funny that they have such a thing about the left. The left, you can't lead with your left because it's sinister. Because in a lot of traditional things, or as we know them now, your left is your loyal side. That's why you wear your wedding ring on your left side. That's why.
Well, there were some things that we have taken culturally that were basically groups of people who hated the Romans trying to do the opposite kind of thing.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it. Well, because Julius Caesar, he wanted to do it in honor of, Janus, the two-faced god. And he wanted at that time for the Romans, they would make promises of good conduct for the coming year. So it makes sense if you've got Janus, who's in control of January, right? And he's the comings and goings. And as the Romans are crossing past Janus and saying, this year I dedicate my promise of good fortune, good cheer, good whatever in this manner, then it would make sense. It would come full circle January 1st. Did you achieve your goals from last year? What are you going to do this year? So that makes sense if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is you can go even further back when you talk about New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
And you can go to ancient Babylonia. So ancient Babylonians. Hello, I don't know how to speak today. Ancient Babylonians, over 4,000 years ago, what they did is they just, in general, they made promises during their New Year celebration, which I didn't research enough to see when exactly that was originally.
Yeah, there's a good chance it was on a completely different day. Or whatever.
So what they did was for their New Year's resolutions, they made promises to return all borrowed items. That they would immediately in the coming year return all of anything they'd borrowed from their neighbor, whether it was a scythe, whether it was a grain of wheat, whatever it was, they would make sure they'd return it. And they would repay all debts immediately that they had. And the hopes was it would lead to a good fortune and favorable year. If they could get that accomplished essentially at the very beginning of their New Year's celebration.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I was so fascinated by the fact that you can go back for 4,000 years and see this history of, well, there's New Year's resolutions that go back time.
Yeah.
And it's just like but it all leads to the same thing. It's all like basically a cycle of renewal. But it was interesting when you're like, the Babylonians did it. And this is what they did it very specific. And they were very, from what I did read, they were very much very strict. Like, you really need to think about making this resolution and following through with it, or it's going to bring bad fortune to you. So it's kind of interesting because they very much are karmically linked.
Yeah.
And they very much believed in good fortune, good karma, bad fortune, bad karma. So they did believe in that, which was really interesting. But for us here, more so in hot people, I guess. I don't know. Christians. And Christianity is a huge thing, right? But the early Christians' tradition was to include a period of reflection on all of their past mistakes from the year before.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yep. And then they would sit there, reflect on the bad mistakes they'd made, and then they would make a resolution on how to do better in their future and the coming year. And of course, they did that at the same time period. So what happened is it was called the Covenant Renewal Services, and it was introduced in the 18th century. So somewhere between 1701 and 1800, it was in the Christian faith. It was introduced, and it was like a 2-week period where they had a time of reflection.
Okay.
And then it's really weird because the way it reads, it's almost like it was a time for reflection, it was a time for new commitment, and it was time for confession. So basically you went, okay, I made these mistakes, which, it would be so great if everybody could do this nowadays. I made this mistake. And
no, I didn't do it. It was them.
I don't. Who the fuck is them?
They made me do it.
Who the fuck is them and they? Who the fuck is them and they? So
the devil made me do it. I don't believe in the devil. So then who made you do it? They did.
Who the fuck is? I've never. I've never figured out in my entire fucking life who they are. And I've heard several people go, they're watching us. They who?
I mean, we all do this. I've done that plenty of times. They do that. They do. Yeah.
We all do it. But when you and I talk to each other about what they did, and you're like, they who? At least if I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to tell you where I found the research at.
Yeah.
Or where I read it at, or I read it on this news publication. I saw it on YouTube. I saw it here. Or, hey, ding dong around the corner, or that guy who just came in the building. I'm going to tell you, but there's some people when you confront them and you say to them, okay, you're confusing me. They who said this? And they'll just look at you and be like, what?
I remember having a conversation about a podcast back in the day with somebody, and this particular podcast was a biohacking podcast.
Okay.
And I remember reading some of the comments, and they're like, people were being like, oh, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about, or this dude is lying and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this dude goes out of his way to put fucking annotations for everything he fucking says as fact. Right. It's like there's extensive fucking lists of, I got this research here and I got this research there and I got this research there. I'm like, what the fuck? Even somebody who is that thorough in actually citing all their fucking sources is still,
it's the most amazing thing, because it's like, so one of the problems I think a lot of us have, and I have a problem with I don't think about it. Too much of if I say something to my partner, I don't think about it when I'm just like, that's not going to work for me. And sometimes they'll look at me and I'll be like, I've gotten to the point where I can say let me explain everything. Cause of we were talking about a food, something or another. Okay. And I was just like, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And just look on his face. And I said, it's because of my metabolism. So it doesn't equate the same for me.
Yeah.
I have a slow metabolism. I have my whole life. I was probably my whole life. I was diagnosed with it when I was 27. Okay. That it's like, do you know you have a slow metabolism? So when I go through and I look at stuff for like my joints have been hurting. So we've talked about, I've cut out a ton of sugar.
Yeah.
Like a ton of sugar, and I can feel it in my joints. And, a good example is when we had stopped and got coffee, you offered me chips and I just looked at you like, I didn't look at you like anything. I'm like, oh, I'm glad you like them, because it wasn't it didn't dawn on me until you kind of looked at me again when you were putting them up. Like, I'm offering them to you, but I have no interest in them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the cool things for me, cutting out so much sugar, is it's like, I'm not really drawn to that right now. I'm sure there's going to come a day where I'm going to be feeling like, give me that fucking Kit Kat bar now.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I'm realizing that just because I think it in my head doesn't mean I said it out of my mouth. So, but it's one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, I've known for X amount of years that I've got a slow metabolism, and it's just, I have to be aware of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the great things about the, ketosis diet, that once you get to a certain point and you're basically being fueled by fat, you don't have a lot of cravings.
Yeah.
So you can look at cookies that you would normally love and you'd be like, I love those cookies. I don't want any.
Yeah.
Not as an act of will, but simply you don't care.
Right.
Right. So that is fucking huge.
Yes. Well, the last time him and I went to Costco, the way our Costco set up, and I'm sure they're all set up the same way. I don't know. But ours specifically, you walk by all the office supplies and the home shit, and you go in, and then you've got your fruits and your produce and your little, and there's the bakery things all right there. And he's like, no, don't walk over there. And I'm like, why? It's like the thing I realized, because I'd said to him today, I'm like, they have cookies. And the thing I realized is it's not it's not that I want to eat a cookie. I want to smell them. And you've known this about me for a long time, which I'm sure at first it used to be really weird to you. Like when I'm having
sniffing soda.
Yeah. I don't need to drink it. I haven't drank it for 21 years. No, 19 years. No, hold on. I have to think. Well, there's
1774.
Well, there's different things that I stopped doing in 2004, 2006, 2008, and then 2013, at least 2000. And then, of course, again, 2019. So if I'm working backwards, it's like, well, this year I quit smoking. In 2019, I quit drinking.
Yeah.
In 2013, I stopped having energy drinks. In 2000, Oh, yeah. In 2008, I stopped doing something that is not to be discussed on this podcast.
Yeah.
And then in 2006, I got divorced. And 2004 is when I quit. Because I'd had Emily for over a year by then. So, yeah, it's been about 20 years.
Stop the soda.
Yep. I don't drink it. But you've always found it, you've always given me a weird, the first year we knew each other, you gave me a weird look when I'd be like, what do you got there? Oh, can I smell that, please? You're just like, what the fuck? But it cures my cravings. I don't crave it.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just, it's really weird because I'm only like, when I can look at my charts I can look at my caloric charts because I'm keeping it by the week to make sure that I'm on track with doing better for my health. Right.
Yeah.
And I can look at it and I can go, oh, this is a big reduction from this week to this week. Like, you know, and you don't think that cutting out 4,000 calories in a week is a lot, but then you start thinking about all the food you didn't consume.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, and then I think it's going to be a pretty big dip this week, but I'm like, why is this such a big difference? And it's because this right here, this very first week is when I started cutting back my sugar. And that's the first week I'd had that iced coffee that had regular sugar syrup in it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was really paying attention because I was trying to figure out why my joints are hurting, right? And I was really paying attention, and it was just like the next day I was just like, oh my God, my elbows and my hips hurt so bad. And that's the only thing I'd done different. So anyways, I don't know. So do you make New Year's resolutions?
No, I don't.
See, maybe you and I don't for the same reason. I used to when I was younger. I used to be like, this year I'm going to only smoke a half a pack of cigarettes a day, or this year I'm only going to eat one candy bar a week, or like whatever. And now I'm just like, you know what? And it's been like this for several years now, where I'm like, you know, how about instead of making a resolution once a day, how about I get up every day and try to do better by myself?
Once a year and do it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, instead of doing it once a year, how about I get up every day and try to do the best by myself every day?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there because, well, especially if you declare it publicly,
yeah,
a lot of times that will motivate people to be like, fuck that, I'm not going to let Stacy know that I fucking failed at this or whatever.
Right.
So I'm sure there are people out there that New Year's resolutions do actually help.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure it's not the majority of people.
It's not. It's a psychological thing to amp people up, feeling like if they can make a resolution, then they get a fresh start.
Yeah.
And it can be,
yeah,
you know, and the psychology behind it is that it usually, you know, kicks somebody into gear or whatever. The reality is like, it's a huge percentage, and I'm not going to quote it because I just saw it in passing, and I was just like, wow, resolutions fail because people either make too many resolutions or they make unrealistic goals.
Yeah.
And I just determined several years ago, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of making a resolution that I might keep for 3 months, but it never goes past that. And that's pretty much the average. Yeah. Most people don't go past the end of January. That's it. Most of the people go, I'm never going to eat fast food again. Fuck it. It's Friday. Let's get some McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just like, you know, instead of trying to make these resolutions that I just am not fulfilling for whatever reason, I'm just like, how about I just start getting up every day and just tell myself I'm going to do my best. And when I'm having bad mental health days, acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. And when I'm having good mental health days and I'm having good days, celebrate it.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe that's simplistic thinking. I don't know.
I mean, everybody's different. So,
yeah.
Also, one of the good things about technology is that you can use technology to kind of help you in that regard.
Yeah.
So you could have like alarms or whatever set up to remind you of certain things.
Yeah.
And then that way, if you succeed, you're like, okay, cool. And if you didn't succeed that day, you can be like, well, tomorrow that alarm's going to go off again. Now, the tendency for people that when they fall off track or whatever to just give up,
right,
is a bit of a problem. And it's kind of the flawed thinking of either it's going to work or it doesn't. The truth of the matter is sometimes you have to fail a number of times before you can succeed. And I would argue that maybe you're better off because you got a bigger win as a result of I failed this, but I succeeded here.
Right.
Look how far I've come.
Yeah.
Because it makes it even more of a success, at least in my mind, if you failed a bunch of times. And this is somebody who tends to not fail at stuff. And it has been a problem, actually.
Yeah.
Like when I failed EOD school, that was the first time I ever failed at anything that I actually was trying to accomplish.
Right.
And it fucked me up for quite a while, which is probably the reason I talk about it so much.
Right. But you and I have had conversations about it. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be one of the first episodes we talk about next year is your military life. Mm-hmm. Because I think it's important that you express why you think you failed EOD school, as you've expressed to me. But I'm also fascinated because I think a lot of people out there don't understand the military 30 years ago to the military now. And I think a lot of, but we can talk about that. But because you had EOD issues, what do you think was the biggest reason for your failure?
I mean, there was a part of me that was fucking terrified because we had gone through the biological and chemical portion of the school, and I'd passed that. However, there was a thing that one of the instructors had said that was sticking with me.
Right.
And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get fucking sent to that unit. But so this dude had been part of one of 2 units in the Army that dealt with the destruction of chemical and biological weapons. Mm-hmm. And he was basically like, yeah, everybody gets bit, referring to everybody in that unit ends up getting exposed to at least one of the chemical agents or biological agents.
Right.
I think at that time they didn't have any biological agents left. But anyway, the chemical agents, we have a huge stockpile of them.
Right.
And I was fucking paranoid about that, although I already had orders to go to a different unit. But yeah, that probably had some effect on me. I
think that's probably a huge percentage as to why you failed. Just because it's just like, we can talk about the whole story in another episode or whatever, but I think that goes to kind of when people are talking about doing resolutions, I think it goes to show how you can really fuck yourself up. You really can fuck with your own mind if you sit and focus on something. Because to me, when you say that they told you everybody gets bit, they didn't say it like, oh, dude, everybody gets bit. It's more like everybody gets bit. But I wasn't there in that moment. And I can imagine as a 19-year-old kid? Or a 19-year-old young man?
No, I was like 21.
Oh God, you're still a baby then, though.
Yeah,
like you're still wet behind the ears. Like that's like a lot of people like giggle at me when I was just like, oh my God, you're just a baby. And it's really because when you are, unless you've raised yourself, unless you've raised siblings, you're still kind of a baby in the woods. You're still kind of a bae in the woods until you're 22, 23, 24, 25, depending on what your life situation is, depending on what you're doing. Yeah. I mean, it's just my opinion because I kind of look at it that way because even insurance companies are like, oh, you're under 25. We got issues.
Yeah.
So your parents are still financially held to be responsible for you.
Yeah.
Up to the age of 25. So, I get it. So why don't you make resolutions? I know why I don't. I've said why I don't. I feel like I've just defeated myself. So how about I try very much to do better every day? Why don't you make resolutions?
Well, for one thing, I'm not going around telling everybody what I'm doing.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, I don't care that much. And number three, I'm usually like, I don't usually celebrate New Year's.
Right.
So it's just another day to me, so I just fucking go to bed when I go to bed. I'm not staying up for all that, and I'm not going to parties. Exactly. So, yeah.
In my adult life, And I'm gonna say in my adult life over the age of 21, I think I've maybe stayed up 4 or 5 times. I have a couple exes who would still laugh at me to this day. They're like, it would be 11:55 and you'd be like, yes, I'm gonna be awake for New Year's to see that clock turn over. And the next thing I know, it's 5 minutes after. I think there's something like subconscious in my brain, like you can't look it right in the eye or something bad will happen. Like looking at a naked butthole.
Wow. I think I need to fart. Well, thank you for telling me that.
Right?
Let me lean back.
Shush. Nobody's supposed to know about that. Shush. I was like, wait a minute. And I went, oh, I know that story. You're going to be in so much trouble. Here's it. Ew, you're going to get it. Anyways, yeah, I have a hard time staying up. And in this neighborhood that we live in right now, when there was old neighbors, it used to be horrible because he would have a New Year's party every fucking year that started at 2:00 in the afternoon. 2:00 in the afternoon, he'd start hooting and hollering. He didn't start his fireworks and his pow pow with his gun in the air or anything until midnight. And it would run until 4 or 5 in the morning. And you know how many times that would piss me off when you and I would need to leave, like when I would have to come pick you up at 7 to make sure we're at the shop in time to get it open at 8.
Yeah. When you first started telling this, I thought your old neighbors, and I was thinking of the old man across the street that died.
Oh, George. Yeah, no.
You're talking about your former neighbors, not your actual old neighbors. I'm like, why the fuck is this old dude fucking starting a party at 4 in the afternoon and going till 4 in the morning?
No, he started at 2 in the afternoon and went till 4 in the morning. It was my former next door neighbor.
Yeah.
No, I think, George was a sweet guy in the neighborhood. I think I only saw him once out walking. My old neighbor, redacted, he used to walk a beer over to him. And I only ever seen him come out at midnight one time. His lights were always off by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, this redacted man. I was just like, you're ridiculous. But second year, I was in this neighborhood again. I went right behind his house and put my front end right between his car and his ex's car and laid on my horn for a good solid minute before I came and got you. Vengeance is mine, bitches. Anyways,
saith the Lord.
Amen, brother. So you just don't do it because you don't find causality because you're not talking about it to people, or you just find it redundant, or.
Well, typically, if I'm gonna do something, I just do it. I don't go around talking about I'm gonna do this. Right? I'm
gonna poop in the potty today. I'm a big boy.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Fucking dork. I mean, occasionally I'll tell people my plans or whatever.
Right.
But usually that's something that will impact them some way.
Right.
Right? Like telling you that I was doing a certification course.
Right.
It's because I have to fucking spend some of my time every day doing that. So because it's not like we're going to start this at 7:00 in the morning. Yeah. I think we've learned very well after the last several weeks, couple months. I think we've learned very well how to balance our time. And sometimes I can tell when you actually need a little break, and you're just not wanting to say anything because it's kind of been a blasé week and we haven't got a lot done. I mean, it happened last week. I could just see. I wouldn't say exhaustion on your face. I could just see I could just see it written on your face that you were like, I'm just not into this today. And that is the cool thing about, for now, living as close as we do. Yeah.
That's the cool thing, because we've got that where it's like, if we miss a day or two here or there, it's not a big deal. But going into the new year, as we're heading into doing recordings and getting to the new year, I mean, obviously we need to have a better game plan, because we got to make sure that we're on track with what we need to do.
Yeah.
And so, and it is a little bit of a hard balance between After Dark and this, because I told you off mic, am struggling a little bit with After Dark because that nostalgia is just, I kind of don't want to share it. I'm afraid it'll go away even faster. But that's okay because there's lots of After Dark conversations we can have about other things that are not directly about the shop.
Yeah.
Which is really fun because there's lots of stuff. But I don't have to tell people how much I miss Ralph or Pat or even as stupid as it sounds, Mr. Annal sometimes. Oh yeah, I miss him. Oh yeah,
it's a lifestyle.
That's right. So anyways, yeah, I just decided several years ago I'm gonna just try to do better every day. Yesterday, I told myself when I got up, I'm going to do better today. And it just kind of sank through me without the day. And then when we started talking about nostalgic, I think that's what it was, is everything just wrapped up so abruptly yesterday for recording and everything. And I had that heavy feeling because we'd talked about nostalgia and then we'd talked about Tome, and that's still a rough subject.
Yeah.
So anyways, well, good. Then I expect you'll make a New Year's resolution this year post haste, and it will be to be nicer to me.
Nope.
Damn it.
That sure is fucking happening.
Well, since I got curious about New Year's resolutions and where it came from and what started it all and why, so something that's very much turned into an American tradition.
Okay.
Do you know the song everybody sings on New Year's?
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that fucking like 1920s fucking song. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
So Auld Lang Syne is the name of it.
Okay.
It's called Auld Lang Syne, and it's actually a Scottish poem turned into song.
Okay.
Right? So in English, do you know what Auld Lang Syne means?
I have no idea. I assume that's not actually English.
It is not. That is actually Scottish.
Okay.
Okay. So Auld Lang Syne is actually a Scottish term, but in English, translated to English, and it actually means old long since. So like days gone by kind of thing. So old long since. And other people interpret it, depending on where you look at the linguistics of it all, either as since long ago.
Okay.
And for old time's sakes. And I think for most people would be like Auld Lang Syne, old time's sakes.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah. The
way we look at things in the English language now. Mm-hmm. All right. So the song itself, do you know what the song's about?
It's about fucking giving up the past and fucking moving forward, basically. That's an interpretation of it, but it's not actually what it's supposed to be. Okay. So the song itself is supposed to be about old friends having a drink together and recalling adventures they'd had long ago. Okay. Because and this was really important to a lot of people as you're going into the new year, because you would get together, you would gather the friends. Oh yeah, remember that hunting trip we took? Brr. That's all in the past. Now something new is coming, right? It's all in the past, yeah.
But here, Desiree, bada boom, bada bing.
Sorry, that was summoning Odorous Urungus.
Gore, 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 gore. Stop.
It's from the Little Biddly Badass song.
Stop. Anyways. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead, do it.
I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yep.
You sure, McGim?
Yep.
You sure? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're such a dick. So the song itself actually has no reference specifically to the new year, right?
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
It's like old acquaintance be forgot.
That's the English version of it.
Yeah.
Because there's more than one version of it. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, the English version of it, as we know it today, is should old acquaintance be forgot in days of Auld Lang Syne, which is literally in days past, right? Yeah. So anyways, but the guy who is recognized as coining this Scottish poem, Auld Lang Syne, it was a dude named Robert Burns, and he's recognized because he was the first one to write it down. Okay. You know, and he wrote it down in 1788.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's actually newer than what I would have thought.
Well, there's more. But wait, there's more. So he wrote it down in 1788, but it was not published until 1796 after he died.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
That happens a lot.
So, and the first time it literally was published as a poem.
Okay.
And turned from there, right?
Yeah.
So the first time it was published was in James Johnson's Scott's Musical Museum, Volume 5.
Okay.
Like it's, man, I look at things and I'm just like, I'm reading this stuff this morning and I'm going, for fuck's sake, am I supposed to be in like Jen Redacted's musical ass movement number 937? Everybody seems to have these, like, anyways, I don't know. It just drove me nuts. So Burns claimed that the Auld Lang Syne, he heard an old man singing it, and he'd taken it from that, did a little bit of twist on it, but he's saying he heard an old man singing it as a Scottish tune.
Okay.
Which you would not recognize the tune today. I could not locate the first tune because as the story goes, the music as we know it today was put together based on two different people. Okay. So you've got one, his name was Alan Ramsay, and he was an artist and painter. And he came up with the tune of Auld Lang Syne, right? Or was it him? Well, he's one of the contributors to Auld Lang Syne, right? And then you've got George Thomson, Thomson. He was a Scottish music publisher who'd put that in there.
Okay.
Right? So you've got this Robert Byrne guy. He's got the lyrics. You've got this other guy. He's a lyricist and a painter and artist, and he puts his spin on it. George Thomson add to it. But the very first time we hear it anywhere near the way we recognized the tune now was done in... I have it here on my paper because I'm fucking smart. There is a English composer. His name was William Shield, and he did a comedy opera called Rosina, and that was the inspiration for the melody. The melody he used in Rosina became the inspiration for the others to put it all together. So how we kind of know the lyrics and the melody now was published and came together in 1799. So what's crazy about it is I didn't think it was that old. You know what I'm saying? You're talking well over, right? Like all these years. But when I did a little tiny more research, there was a guy, and his name was Sir Robert Ayton, and he lived from 1570 to 1638. So this is over 100 years before any of this comes together, right? And he was a poet and a writer, and he actually had a poem called Auld Lang Syne that was the possible inspiration for Robert Burns to make Auld Lang Syne. So between hearing the old man sing the Scottish tune and then hearing that, he kind of incorporates them and brings them together. Yeah, and it was just like, wow. What's super crazy about it is, so Alan Ramsay, the artist and painter guy, he also did a poem, which is called, the very first line of it was, "Should Old Acquaintance Be Forgotten?" So you've got Auld Lang Syne by Sir Robert Ayton. You've got Should Old Acquaintance Be Forgot? It sounds like the way it reads is Burns and Ramsay kind of inspired each other.
Okay.
Right? Because Burns actually died in 1798, and he wrote his poem down he'd talked about it, but he'd actually written it down in 1788.
Okay.
Right? So, and Ramsay, of course, he publishes his, he died in 1784, so it was published by then. So you've got this inspiration that kind of goes back and forth somewhere in this weird circle. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you first read it, but it makes sense when, you know, you look at the sense of they talked in circles back then, way worse than I do or you do. They really did talk about in circles because nobody, you know, you're going today in today's world. I did that. Yeah. Look at me. Recognize. In old times, in them olden days, it was about people making sure if you were influenced or inspired going, oh, no, it wasn't completely me. I heard Jim Bob down the rail, You know so we've gotten away from quoting who inspires us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the, oh no, I mean, it was, and then of course you've also got the flip side of that where people are going, oh, you stole that line from Alan Ramsey because he died before you wrote that down. But should old acquaintance be forgot is not what Robert Burns wrote down.
Yeah.
Because I have the actual Scottish poem here.
Okay.
Right. So anyways, we'll get into that in a minute. So it was really fascinating because I didn't think it was that old. I really thought it was much newer than that because what we know as Americans and what we sing and celebrate as Americans, it became a tradition here in America by a Canadian-born band leader by the name of Guy Lombardo. Well, don't let me say it wrong. Who lived from 1902 to 1977. And he had a band called the Royal Canadians, and they played the song at the turn of the new year, beginning December 31st, 1921. And they performed it every year as a New Year's celebration because he thought it was fitting. Mm-hmm. And so it just became a tradition. So it's been a tradition here in the United States to be sung and recognized around New Year's Day or on New Year's Eve to going into New Year's Day since 1929. So
okay.
What's that, 96 years?
Something like that.
Quick math. Boom. So it's really interesting because it's just so what it was to what it is, what it was to what it became to where we first in Americans and all that started hearing in 1929. It's just really interesting, the evolution of it, because when we sing it in the American version, it's should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. It's like, you almost can hear that anybody we've lost this year, anybody we've lost during this current year and we've forgotten about them. Let's reminisce them one more time and celebrate them and toast them. Let's celebrate and toast.
Toast them.
I'm getting cremated, so I'll be toasted one day.
Yep.
You're like, and I will be holding the torch. Let me light the pyre.
I'll just breathe on you and you'll turn into ash. Yep.
You're just mean.
I'm a dragon.
Is that the character you're playing in your games right now?
Actually, yeah. Well, one of the
because I'm like, there is only one red dragon. He's already been slain.
So I'm actually playing two characters in my
You're doing
Pathfinder game
because you love Pathfinder so much, or because you couldn't decide on one character.
No, it's because sometimes we have not enough players, and so I will play a second character. So.
One of your characters, damn it, we're always talking about tabletop gaming. Damn it. Or Guar. Okay, so one of your characters is a dragon. Is it the one you told me about that, like, surprise his origin as a dragon?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's the other one?
The other one is a new class. He's an exemplar, they're called. And basically they're kind of like demigods is the easiest way to explain it. So like something along the lines of like Hercules before he became elevated to be a god.
Okay.
So you got a bunch of weird stuff going on because you got the blood of gods.
Okay.
Running through your veins.
So what's your character's superpower then? What's his biggest attribute?
So basically, he's just a big tough guy. He's basically like a walking tank. So he'd be like Colossus, maybe. What's your character's actual name? Lou.
I'm Lou. Now I'm gonna come through and smash everything because I'm big and I'm bad, and my name's Lou. Yep. Please tell me it's just Lou. It's not short for anything.
No, it's Lugh, as in the Irish god Lugh, who was one of the kind of all-father type gods. Until he got his hand cut off, and then Dagda took over. Yeah.
So that makes sense in your gaming brain.
Yeah.
But did Dagda cut off his hand?
No.
Okay. I'm just saying, I don't know if Dagda could be a good god if he's cutting off hands.
I mean, he is the good god, but it's not good as in nice. But anyway.
He's not good as in nice? Then what does it mean that Dagda the good god? What's he good then?
He's good at everything.
And ladies and gentlemen, there's the ego. Hopefully for the last time this year.
He's not necessarily the best at everything, but he's so good at everything that the people who are the best at a thing, he's enough competition so that they can't fucking really fuck with him, even in their thing that they're the best at.
Do you know how, somewhere here I have a sticky note, research Dagda the good God. And I wish I would have, because that now makes so much sense when you go, and I'm like, oh, good job. I know.
That is correct.
The fucking ego on this kid, man. Let me tell you. Anyways, we'll get more into the gods another time because, we're getting short on time here. But I found the research fascinating because it was all stuff that I just kind of thought, when I first started looking at New Year's resolutions, I did think it had something to do with religion. It's just kind of like how we had talked about Krampus and Kringle. It was everybody's just looking for a way to get people in order, in line, behaving the way they want them to.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought that's what it was going to be. But then when I learned that, yes, that is part of it in the 18th century, right? But then when I learned the rest of it, it was just like, hey, people were not forced to do it. They were highly encouraged in Babylonia and by Julius Caesar. They were highly encouraged, like, hey, if not, it's going to come back on you. They put responsibility back on the person. So I found that interesting in the fact that it wasn't. Yes, people are going to say, well, Jen, since they're doing it to honor Janus the god, of course it's about religion. Not so much. But that's my opinion. That's my take on it, is it's just about, Julius Caesar was just like, dude, I'm going to respect and celebrate this god because of what they stand for. Mm-hmm. And I hope you all do too. It's not like you were put to death for not doing it. Nobody was put to death. Everybody was just encouraged to do it, to from what I read, it was there for everybody to encourage to make themselves better. So you didn't have all this animosity between people. Well, Thelonious borrowed my scythe, and he didn't fucking bring it back after he harvested his wheat. And now we've got bad blood. Mm-hmm. It was to keep things in a copacetic society and bring unity together, where everybody was striving to do better by everybody else. We're not so much like that now. In our society today, you'll have little tiny micro groups of we're like Shaun of the Dead group, where you got 5 people. That's it. Fuck you. That's our campaigning party. To hell with the rest of you guys. Yeah. Now we've just gotten away from doing it as a community. Yeah. But I'm sure there's going to be somebody going, well, if you went to church more often, you'd know that we do this. You know what? I don't have 2 weeks of my life to sit and spend in a church to go through what you traditionally need to do. I don't, because my religious beliefs doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm not trying to make anybody believe my way. I'm hoping people aren't trying to make me believe theirs. Mm-hmm. The last person, and I won't even say what sect they were, that came through and came ringing my doorbell, and I opened up the door, and I was not happy by it. And they're like, "Can you open the door and let us in?" And I'm like, first of all, no. Second of all, can you read? Well, yes. I'm going to say you're a liar because, first of all, there is a no soliciting sign right there. Oh, I know, but I feel like, no, you have to respect my boundaries. And then I use explicitives about getting off the property and have a blessed day. If the first thing you say to me you okay?
Yeah.
You act like you got shocked.
That's because there was a loud crackle in the headphones.
Oh, it's probably because that made a noise. Anyways, if the first thing you say to me and that's why I love having the security door. Mm-hmm. But when I open my inner door, if the first thing you say to me as you're grabbing my knob is, as you're grabbing the doorknob,
your giant fucking golden knob.
Hey, it's a brass knob. You stop. You're so mean. You're so mean.
Welcome to my home. I'm glad that you grabbed my knob.
Hey, that might be at Dagda's house. Not here. Here you'll get some kung fu. Well, actually, you'll get some taekwondo if you try to do that here, but that's not
welcome.
Oh, my God.
Any fucking way.
Anyways, as you're reaching for the doorknob, that is just, anyways. So I thought we would end today.
I'm 5 years old. Any fucking way.
You have the humor of a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I heard you fart when you bent down and get that book. Although I have to say, I think I have the humor of like maybe a 7-year-old because I find farts hilarious. I find pooping funny. I find burping funny. I don't find it so much funny if somebody like walks by me and farts, then I get mad. But like, I do find it funny if I can hear somebody pooping in the house.
Do not walk in front of me if you're trailing fire.
Right. But I thought what we would do to end this, it's the last Conversations Over Coffee episode for 2025, unless we decide to do something special, which I don't think we're going to. But if we do, we do. It'll be before this, because this is the last. This is the 31st of December.
Yeah.
This is the last one that's going out for this year for Conversations Over Coffee.
It should be the last one, period, for this year, because it's the 31st.
For Conversations Over Coffee.
Why are you planning on putting out it after dark on the same day?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the schedule, but maybe.
Any fucking way.
Maybe. And it doesn't matter. One's released at midnight. Of the two series, one is released at midnight when it gets released. And that's Conversation Over Coffee always has a 12:01 a.m. release time.
Yeah.
But After Dark, because you need to wake up before you listen to After Dark, think about it. You don't want to be driving when you're listening to After Dark most of the time.
I can drive with wood.
That one releases at 5 a.m. So anyways, so what I thought we'd do...
Oh, it releases all right. Anyway. Carry on.
So we know what you're going to be doing tonight. Awesome.
Nope.
That's right. You're going to do your sock goblin things in the morning. Gotcha.
Yep.
You too tired tonight. You're like, you're damn right. I'm getting up an hour early to celebrate and do the last of my...
Any fucking way.
So there is an Irish version of this, and considering how I can't read Irish very well, especially not Gaelic, I thought I would. I thought we'd end this.
Okay.
With the Scottish poem of Auld Lang Syne.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
It's long.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just resting my eyes.
Me too. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. And surely you'll buy your pint cup, and surely I'll buy mine, and we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. We too have run about the hills and pulled the daisies fine, but we've wandered many a weary foot since Auld Lang Syne. We too have paddled in the stream from morning sun till dine, but seas between us broad have roared since Auld Lang Syne.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, you jerk. To you too. I mean, I'm not just wishing it to them. I'm wishing it to you too.
I suppose I could wish you Happy New Year's.
I know, right?
Happy New Year.
Are we going to make resolutions?
No.
Yeah, me either. Because I'd be like, the only resolution I could make is to be nicer to you, but I'm already pretty freaking nice to you.
I resolved to not crush anybody's trachea this year. How about that?
Are you saying that as you're stating it in 2025 or going into 2026?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I'll just leave it at that.
Right? To be seen, to be announced in a future time.
Yeah.
All right. No, in all seriousness, thank you guys for taking this journey with us this year. We appreciate you. We enjoy you. We're having a good time, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
And definitely happy New Year. May it bring all the glories of Valhalla to you. I know that sounds wrong, like seriously, but that's okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking of video games. Like, what am I going to do later? Video games. No, hopefully 2026 comes in for a year that's emotionally, mentally, financially, and harmoniously prosperous for everybody. Because I've kind of had enough of this shit this year.
May harmony find you.
Yes. May harmony find you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay, everybody, that's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.